Get comfortable for a cold open. And you know.
Hey, welcome to Is It a Hit?
That's good. That's
way
solid.
better than what I would have done. I come in all mousy, you know.
Oh yeah.
Hey everybody.
You guys wanted a cold open, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Welcome. This is NPR. Welcome to Is It a Hit? I'm Max, and my friends. You guys are my friends, right? Great. Yes. Well, I can't keep doing that the entire time. I got to be myself. Can't be this mousy character I just created. But maybe I'll save that in the back pocket for an improv class or something.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to be the character. My NPR character was going to be the person that lets you listen to them breathe for 30 seconds.
My NPR character for a while was Diane Rehm.
I'm Diane Rehm.
I just awoke from a 400-year slumber, and I'm still alive, I think.
I like horny Diane Rehm.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. It's just like, take me, Patrick. Just like, yes, Diane. I've waited so long for this. He's like, do what you will.
Me and my sugar daddy, Kojo.
I'm so wet right now.
Yeah.
Is this okay?
No, it's pretty
No,
wrong.
we're not gonna, let's cut out the...
We should have another cold open. Because...
Yeah, let's do another cold open.
First off, sexy Diane Rehm is okay.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Fucking, we gotta be sex positive, you fucking losers.
This is hot garbage.
This sounds like shit. No one's gonna buy that.
Is it a hit?
Yeah. I don't know Diane Rehm, never met her. But I'd listened to her a lot in my morning commute when I lived in D.C., and great.
And she got you harder than a blue chew.
Yep. I mean, not to knock Blue Chew at all. They are our
We'll get 'em back.
valued sponsor.
We'll get
They
him
aren't
back.
paying us this week either. That's fine. All right, let's kick off the show. Hey, welcome to another episode of Is It a Hit? I'm Max. This is a podcast where me and my co-host Pat and my other co-host Nate, we'll all talk for a bit, and after a while, Nate will find some interesting things we're talking about, and he'll make a song about it.
Listen up here,
little...
Max. This opening is too cold. I asked for a nice lukewarm opening. Your Pat asked for a hot opening. He came in hot. This is too cold. We gotta heat it up. We gotta heat it up.
Hey guys, I'm Pat.
That's what I'm talking about.
This
We're
is
in the club.
This is a show. What do we call this show? Is this
Is it a hit? Is it a hit? Is it a hit? Is it a hit?
Is this was hit?
Yes,
Welcome
that's the
to
one.
Is this was hit? If the song that Nate sings is a hit, this is the podcast for one to listen and then also to rate and then decide. Guys, I'm sorry.
Here's what we do.
You're hot. That's all that matters. You're painted to be hot.
Here's what we do, people. We're hungry. We're hungry for money. We're hungry for hits. We're gonna read you a lot of advertising. Everything we do, there's a corporate sponsor that lies in the fertile, supple underbelly of everything we do and say. Number 2, my name is Nasty Nathan Sharp. This is Pat, and this is Max, and they are A&R reps extraordinaire. They are tastemakers. They have their finger on the pulse of the people. And do you know what the people want? Well, they want
puddle
blood.
of mud.
Yeah, they want puddle of mud.
Puddle of mud.
Puddle of mud.
The evangelical right needs more puddle of mud. He sings the song of their people. A lot of people don't know Puddle of Mud is a Christian rock band.
Oh boy, I hope this isn't the first episode people are listening to this.
Do you think POD just stands for puddle of mud?
Man, let's get a song going where you have some wild or really weird exclamation. Fusha is peak nonsense to scream.
I did like the nonsense in last week's song.
Yeah.
Like Skittle. I forget, I didn't talk about that, but you also listen to us because, we love the nonsense lyrics. From previous shows, we talked about, Rusted Root, a lot of Axl Rose, a lot of.
You did put a little stank on some weird words. I noticed that as well. That was good.
Yeah. Well, it sold. I mean, it sold tickets. It sold merch, and he knew what sells.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wake up most mornings and roll out of bed, and I just stretch, and I go.
That is a good stretch noise.
Yeah.
You gotta scare your kids awake.
It's permeated my entire being. Axl Rose's sex grunts.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Last week's episode, as we can recap, was great. Definitely a lot of effort there. It was about Tony, the strip club DJ, and it was definitely the best yet.
Agreed.
So can't wait to get topped. Can't wait for something better. Only can give you maybe like 3 days this time, so we'll just see what happens there. But expectations are high, and the budget is low.
Oh yeah. We are leaking like a sieve. All the money that we get from Patreon, all the money that we skim off the top from these clearly fictitious and broken contests that you guys are sending your money into, all that, we are just spending it as fast as we get it. In fact, since this show and since the amount of money that we've been getting from our patrons, I've somehow gone into debt. So we really need you guys to kick those donations back up. If you want to pay the $5 a month for a 1 second podcast per day, we've been doing that for people where they chip in $5 per month, and every single day you get a 1 second podcast. Typically... Yeah, like it's a lot of sex noises. We've been getting into really enjoying screaming nonsense fusha, and the different ways to scream fusha. We've been doing that for a second, but people have been doing that for some reason. We don't understand why. It's the least amount of content we've ever produced for the most amount of money. If we have to do more 1 second podcasts every single day, we will. Again, that's only 31 seconds really of content that we have to produce, but you guys are really just paying it. You're paying stuff, and we don't understand why, but we are here to take advantage of you. I can't say I love you. I won't say I love you, but I will exploit you. So thank you for that. Right.
So last week's episode, we kind of left off like we might start this week talking about a certain film director named Paul Verhoeven. Is that where you want to go with this?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, who is Paul Verhoeven? I don't know. I'm not familiar with your Werners and your Herks, Gogs and your Verhovens.
Well,
not into it.
So Paul Verhoeven is a probably German director,
right?
But he made several films back in the late 80s, early 90s, specifically Robocop, Starship Troopers, Basic Instinct, I believe he did.
Did he really? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
And he also did Showgirls. So, and they're all very graphic in one way or another. Sometimes it's violence, sometimes it's depiction of, sex. But they're if you watch them all in a row, like I did this weekend, you're gonna pick up a very unique style. Like there's that part in RoboCop where they're demonstrating that robot in like that boardroom, and the robot malfunctions and just like starts shooting this guy. And it literally keeps shooting him because it's malfunctioning. And it shoots him for like literally a minute in the movie. And it's just there's just so much stuff popping out of this guy's chest. And he's been dead the entire time. And it just will not stop shooting him. And it's so violent. And in like Starship Troopers, there's just like people getting like their legs ripped off and stuff.
Oh, it's awesome. It is.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers is the movie. Like, I saw that movie as a young teenager, and it was exactly what I needed to see. It was exactly everything I wanted. It was like, there's guys, they go into space, and they're Marines, and then they, like, there's these aliens, and they're like, whoa! Like, I'm almost certain that the way, like, it just like everything my little teenage heart desired was in that movie. A guy immediately gets bit in half by an insect monster. It's amazing, dude. It's so good. And he's like a genius with like everybody talks shit about like his dialogue and like his like stilted characters, but he has fucking sayings that will not leave your head. I'll buy that for $1. Bam. Right?
Yeah.
It's an ugly planet. It's a bug planet. Like, that shit's never going to leave my fucking head, man. This guy is a genius with, like, specific, like, I don't know how to say it, but, like, very specific parts of his movies and dialogue, like, they will never leave your brain. Ever.
Yeah, there's this part in Robocop where when the, main character, Robocop, is about to become, get horribly disfigured and then become Robocop. He, the main bad guy, he like literally takes a shotgun and like blows the main character's hand off. And he's like, "Give the man a hand." He says that to all of his cronies, and they're like, "Ha, ha, ha, ha." And the cop is just like, "Ah, ah." And he's definitely very gratuitous with like blood. And it's like a very close-up shot of a hand getting blown off. It's just, it's unique. It's definitely a directing style that you just don't see ever. I mean, you'll get a lot of like guys who love their gore, like Eli Roth and Sam Raimi sometimes, but the way that Paul Verhoeven does it, it's just it's crazy. It's batshit crazy.
Perfect. It's perfect, dude. And you're omitting the part of that scene that's the best part is that Red, the dad from that 70s show.
Correct. Yes.
He's shooting off. He's just blowing this guy apart. He's also like he's just having a day of it.
Yeah,
like he's having so much fun. Yeah, he's so much fun. Making noises. Yeah, it's God. He's like moving the gun and like making these weird noises. It is. I mean, that's the weirdest thing is that his characters are like cartoonish.
Yes.
And they make you feel like you're watching like a Saturday morning cartoon. And like the way that they talk and act is so childish. And then it's just like he flips the script on you with like overt violence so hard that your brain can't it's like hard to mash them together. It really is like he's just like a grown man that knows exactly what a teenage boy wants. Like it's just enough dialogue, it's just enough character for it to be called a movie. But like Starship Trooper isn't about three friends. Starship Troopers is about going and killing some fucking bugs and also seeing guys get fucking just disfigured.
Yeah, and Doogie Howser's in it, so that's good.
Yeah, Doogie Howser's great. Touches a fat bug and he's like, "It's afraid." It's so good. It's so good. He touches that fat bug. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, okay, we could go down this path further. Or we could ask ourselves, is this what we want the song to be about this week?
You talking some hyper-violent cartoons there, Max? You hot for that?
Could be.
Yeah, as we should check in with Nasty Nate Sharp so that he can use his dowling rod or whatever. What's it called when they try to find water? What's that called?
I think it's called dowling rod. I think you're
dowsing.
Right on.
I think it's dowsing. But anyway, as you peruse the horrorscape that is our hot takes and weird love of Paul Verhoeven, as you're using your dowsing rod, do you feel the tides, the water, the wells of a hit in that area? Should we keep going down that vein, or do you need us to try to find deeper waters?
Yeah. Do you have any topics that you may have, pre-written things about that you want to interject into what we're talking about, just so we can kind of veer a certain way, and then give you some more stuff to write about. You got anything like that?
Well,
that's not death races.
You guys ever been in a death race in 1989?
Yeah, that's most of them. Most of my pages in my notebook are just different iterations of the word death race.
All right, there's two other very famous movies that Paul Verhoeven directed, and I failed to mention them.
Total Recall, dog.
Total Recall, yep. And do you know the other one?
Are you gonna say Hollow Man?
Yep, he did fucking Hollow Man. I forgot. That one's so weird. I mean, you see Kevin Bacon's like invisible penis in it. It's so weird. Like the way that they show, it's like just weird that they like show it real quickly, but it's in like a heat map, isn't it? It's like, why did we need to pan up from the ground to see Kevin Bacon's
Kevin
penis?
Bacon
Like, it's not, he's literally an invisible man
during that time, though, dude. But that's hilarious. But Wild Things, do you remember that movie? Like,
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, right. You didn't need to see fucking Kevin Bacon's dong in that movie, but he definitely like went out of his way. It was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll get naked. I'm getting naked in this movie. They did not need to show his dick, but they totally did.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've only seen the network TV release of Wild Things. Classic mistake. Second.
Oh my God. I can't think of a more worthless. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Stop. I know you have another thing to add here, but I can't think of a more useless version. Like, that's the worst thing I can think of. Like a neutered Wild Things. The only reason you're watching Wild Things is for fucking
Bill Murray, yeah.
Make out with Denise Richards fucking topless. That's the only reason you're watching it. Why would you watch a network version of that? It's like, I'm gonna watch this movie that's awful, that has no redeeming qualities save one. I'm gonna watch it just for fucking an hour and a half with commercials, and I'm not even going to see the best part.
I think that movie is actually pretty like highly regarded. Like,
no fucking way.
I remember it being like, I think Roger Ebert gave it like 3 out of 4 stars.
He would.
Like that yearbook. He would. That guy has a weird, like very unpredictable taste in movies, which is why I always read him.
Dude, this is not like Boogie Nights where like the subject matter is overt and they just do everything else like perfectly. Like it's just like really well written and people are just like acting perfectly.
That movie is great. For the listeners at home, stop this. Go watch Boogie Nights. Come back.
I love that part where Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. And he's just like crying. Man, that's amazing acting, dude. So good.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to neglect Nate. We could tend to overtalk him, and I want to make sure his points is heard. So you've seen the TV version of Wild Things.
Yeah.
We'll come back to Boogie Nights at some point because the movie's great.
I'm wondering. Here's what I don't believe about the movie Hollow Man. I don't believe. Well, I have a question. This is a question. It's about the state of TV special effects. Now, I know infrared cameras existed. I want to know, is that a digital or artistic recreation of what Kevin Spacey's heat map would look like that explicitly shows his penis? And has anyone compared?
I think it's probably Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Listen, maybe Kevin Spacey was in these movies too. They might have just cut him out.
I mean, the movie's dead. The movie's about people being invisible.
They refilmed all the scenes, like they did with that one. Right?
Which one?
The one where he, got, I don't know, was it Me Too'd? And they were like, we're going to reshoot his scenes for this movie. And then
I didn't know they did that.
They did it for it's this movie with Mark Wahlberg, and he plays what is it, John Paul Getty or something, the richest man in the world, and they literally refilmed his scenes with Christopher Plummer, and then Christopher Plummer, I think, was immediately nominated for an Oscar after that. Like,
really,
he reshot all of Kevin Spacey's scenes in like 8 days, and they got it out for like a Christmas release, and it was like, yep, this deserves an Oscar.
Holy shit!
Win, but it was, Christopher Plummer, great actor.
I did not know this.
Yeah, a couple years ago. I check it out. It's like they even released a trailer with Kevin Spacey in it, like in September or whatever, like preparing for a award season release, and then Kevin Spacey's career took quite a tumble, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to release this movie with him in it. We're going to reshoot all of his scenes," and they just reshot all of his scenes in like a 2-week period, and yeah, pretty crazy.
Kevin Spacey's the way he responded to the Me Tooing was the most hilarious of anyone's. Where he's like, he's getting Me Too'd, and he just like he comes out and he's like, I'm gay now. I'm gay. Yeah, and people were like,
that's why I did this, because I'm gay.
Yeah, people were like, what do we do? It's like, we can't. I don't know. I'll leave him alone. And he just kind of, and people were like, is he doing this so people will just leave him alone? And he was like, and then people still did.
He just, like, it's a smoke bomb. He just threw a smoke bomb.
That's the funny thing. It's like people were like, yeah, you don't get to just come out as gay and avoid repercussions of getting Me Too'd, trying to diddle some fucking kids. He's just like, are you sure? And then the media was like, I guess you win that one, Kev. All right.
I mean, he I don't think he's worked since, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway,
he's living off.
Bacon.
He's got
Bacon. Good porno. Go on. Nate,
listen,
go on.
He's living off of his Wild Things royalties. It's okay. So here's what I'm wondering. Back to Kevin Bacon. Did anyone compare his heat-mapped penis in Hollow Man
to his actual
dong in Wild Things? Because I don't believe that he showed his penis in Hollow Man. And if it is his actual penis, like, that is method acting to a degree that, now, like you were talking about Christopher Plummer, this is Oscar-worthy shit, being like, I want you to take a real live thermal image of my nude body so that the heat map outline of my hot Kevin Bacon dong is available for all the movie-going public to see for the low price of, $7.50 a ticket if you're a senior.
Movie theaters, those are great.
Yeah, I miss them. Yeah, that's good.
So you think you think we should? Is there any topics you want to interject with?
Well, let me see what I have so far. Let me tell you what I have so far, just so you all know.
Okay.
All right, I have horny Diane Rehm. I have.
But remember that was before the new cold open.
No, we're leaving that shit in. That shit's too good.
We got it. It might be before the new cold open, but it is solidified in the notes. We have Fashaw. We have Robocop and hyper-violent cartoons, and generally child branding of ultra-violent content, which I'm fascinated by. Yeah. And then I have a note that just says
for fucking Robocop.
Yeah, it's a real horror-scape. And I have a note that says horror-scape, and it has an arrow next to it, and it says make a horror-scape.
Don't do that. Don't make a horror-scape. Ugh. Bad notes. So, all right, you got that. What else do we need to go over? Is there anything else? I think, you do have...
Go ahead.
I wanted to emphasize the nonsense exclamatory. Now, remember, the fasha is a prominent part of that song. Like, it opens the song, and then you're happy when he gets back to it.
What is this song that you're speaking of?
It's a POD song.
It's called Here Comes the Boom.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Man, I was just going to play the fucking guitar.
I know that
Yeah.
Aren't they a Christian band? What does Here Comes the Boom have to do with Jesus?
They're Puddle of Mud.
It's about the rapture.
Back to a puddle of mud we shall return.
For Puddle of Mud. Oh, man, that was so good. Was that from like 2 episodes ago?
That was from the last episode.
That was from about 15 minutes ago.
Such a good joke. POD stands for Puddle of Mud. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of losing it over here. If I'm being honest, I don't think you have much more time with it. I'm just laughing at everything.
Yeah, but it's great. Great content.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so you got Hellscapes, you got Fashaz, you got
Ooh, Hellscapes. I was going straight horrorscapes, but I like Hellscapes.
Horrorscapes. Well, Hellscapes I think is great for Death Race.
Let me write
Death
this
Race
down
is
in red.
Hellscapes.
Yeah, you are itching for more Death Race.
Yeah. Are you looking to get into any new styles, any new genres of music?
Well, I am. I'm looking more to get into an ambient sound. I don't listen to Sting. Here's the thing. I don't.
There's no ambient. There's no ambient hits.
Enya?
What about Enya? And what about where
Flow?
Sting has that guy go, "I dream of rain, LA, LA," you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sting, you know.
That was popular for like 2 days in 1993.
And those were 2 great days.
You don't get to pretend like that's like his whole and that's like the least known song by Sting.
Ironically, it's the same length as Sting's sax.
Yeah, it's fucking takes too long.
Speed it up, Sting.
My mom had that album. That album sucked dick.
I think it wasn't up for like a bunch of Grammys too. Like
it was a classic. It was an instant classic, and probably Sting's highest selling solo record.
Dude,
it was definitely like a very unique. Like it stands on its own. Like he has a whole bunch of hits back in the '80s, and then this stupid like Purple Rose stuff and Desert Rose, not Purple Rose, Desert Rose. And like not a fan. My mom also had it.
What was the one where like the devil's in it? Like there's like an interlude where the devil's talking, and like I don't remember what he says, but like he's like, "We've got thieves, we've got bad." He's like, it's just like the devil talking, and then like it ends with him laughing and being like, "Break's over." And like,
I think you're thinking of Thriller.
No, I'm not.
Ooh, speaking of Thriller and speaking of how we're running out of money, does this mean that the Quincy Jones collab is off?
Yeah, he's he emailed us this past week. We're off. I don't want to bring it up now on the podcast because it's kind of a downer, but
yeah,
we've been dropped by Quincy. He was going to be our guest host next week. He's big into improv, but it's not going to work out.
I'm sorry, man. I know that you and Quincy have been doing a lot of improv work together, so that sucks.
Yeah, he's in my level 2 class. He's great.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of these days it'll all line up and everybody will be happy to do it. You know.
Yeah. One of these days it'll all work out for old Quincy.
Yeah.
He's had it pretty rough lately.
Did you at all take this? Did you put anything about Starship Troopers in your notes, Nate?
No, not yet, but I will. Let me.
Yeah, you really should.
Troopers there. I need to watch this movie.
It's so violent. It's awesome.
I think you could write a lot of content from that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we don't need to have this podcast every
day. How many Denise Richards movies do I need to watch to understand where you all are coming from? Should I watch The World Is Not Enough?
Oh man.
Great. No.
Her name in the movie is Dr. Christmas.
Christmas
Jones.
At
the very end when James... Christmas Jones. Yeah,
maybe it's not Christmas Jones.
Like
that might be something else. But yeah.
But at the very end when James Bond is having sex with her, of course the line he says is, "Well, Christmas came early this year." Great. I mean, I feel like they wrote that character's name just for that line.
Wrote the entire movie.
Yeah, just for that one line.
Yeah.
I remember really liking that one though. Yeah, that's the one where the guy from the Full Monty's the bad guy, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's like missing an eyeball. Got a golden eye or something.
James Bond villains. Like every single one of them's missing an eye or has an eye patch or some fucking shit like that.
Yeah, it's kind of bummed that we didn't get a chance to see this most recent one. They're pushing it back further until theaters are open. Looks pretty good.
I remember a girl sat me down to watch, what's his name? Who's the new James Bond? What's his name?
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, she sat me down to watch the Daniel Craig movie and was just like, "Isn't this the best movie? The first one."
Oh, the James Bond, not one of his
like,
non-James Bond movies.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's when he's James Bond and it's his like first one. She's like, "Isn't this great? Isn't this amazing?" And I was like, "I think you just really like Daniel Craig. I don't know, this is okay."
You
but
just
like,
keep showing me the part where his shirt's off.
Yeah, he has a lot of shirtless, agonizing shower scenes in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Is it like that? Like you get like the argument for that movie is like James Bond is back and he's grittier than ever. In this latest James Bond, he's tied to a chair and just they wail on his nuts. It's like a huge part of that movie.
Yeah.
It's so graphic. It's just like him getting wailed on in the nuts. It's just God damn it. And
Yeah.
like they're trying to like class it up. And that's like that's like the linchpin of the movie.
Yeah, that part is pretty great too. When it like the way he did it, where he's like swinging that thing under the chair and it's destroying his nuts. Oh man,
just fucking wailing on his fucking nuts. Oh
yeah. Well, we could talk for days about that scene. Do a real frame by frame breakdown.
Do they ever like mention that after it? Like, does anybody ever ask
James, why can't you have children? Oh, my nuts were wailed on back in my first job.
I'm serious though. He gets wailed on hard enough for it to like be a talking point. Like you need to bring it up because it was such a huge part of the movie. Like it's weird that like because like didn't he like do running scenes and shit after that?
Maybe not. That was right at the end of the movie, and I think wasn't in that like part of the movie. But like it there's more. I guess there might have been an action scene after that. But man, what if like just like Q and M just like make fun of him for the entirety of the series after like, "Oh, James, how are your balls?"
Full of jelly.
It's a spot of jelly. Oh, that's all I know. That's my British impression. Please contact my voiceover representation at AMR. They will get to you if you need any voiceover work because I do a lot of British accents.
Yeah. You can always, go to max.com at dog.stink. Just send him a quick email.
Yep. What language you looking for? Iceland? Jolly good.
What do you think the going rate is for real British people on Fiverr versus just American people who can do a solid British accent on Fiverr?
What's the rate on Fiverr? 5.
What is Fiverr?
It's where you pay
like
$5 to get someone to do things that you used to get professionals to do.
So, like, what's an example?
Like, like a British voiceover from a non-Brit.
Oh, okay. And so it's all like remote work stuff. It's not like, hey, can you paint my house?
Yeah, no, you can't paint a house on Fiverr.
You could. It just take for fucking ever.
I think generally speaking,
I'm gonna look up Fiverr.
It's it's for the kind of work that doesn't produce anything real. We're all just manipulating ones and zeros here. So no painting houses, no giving a massage, no blood transfusions. Just, manipulating screens and sounds.
Have a liver transplant on Fiverr.
Yeah. You're going to need it. All right.
Well,
it's a good liver, though.
Yeah, I mean, gig economy.
So you got everything you need there? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think you got it all?
I think I got what we need. We got our horny Diane Reems, we got our sounds, we got our James Bonds, our Robocops, our Starship Troopers, our Denise Richard movies, all taking place in one single horrorscape that is the dream of Sting in the desert. So I'll try my best because this sounds like a real hit y'all have come up with here. And for $5, I'll try to put it all together for you.
Oh shit! I got to pay for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah. Just remember the phrase, "It's an ugly planet. It's a bug planet." It's a good phrase.
Do you think that Terry Gross resents Diane Rehm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because,
it's not going in the song, though, right?
No. I think this is all too inside. Listen, I'm not, as we've discussed before, these songs are for everybody. And Terry Gross and Diane Rehm, they appeal to a smaller subset of America known as public radio listeners. And do you know what they don't play on public radio? Well, they don't play hot FM hits.
That's true. Except when they interview the people.
Yeah, I mean, Terry Gross will interview the people and play an 8-second snippet of their hot hits and then talk to Ting about his tantra. Well, we don't need that. We need Dreams of Rain, L.A.
Yodelady. It's like the laziest yodeling.
Oh, I hated that fucking album.
Yeah. Got any album recommendations before we go?
Oh, The Slider by T-Rex.
I've been listening to Built to Spill. I think it's called The Plan. I'm not sure. Let me look it up. Yeah, okay. Built to Spill.
Ooh, Built to Spill. That's a nice band. Dayton, Ohio. Classic.
Yeah, I saw
Ohio
Built to Spill with the Butthole Surfers, and it's the most frightening concert I've ever been to. Because I'm not familiar with the Butthole Surfers music other than Pepper, and man, they didn't play anything that sounded like Pepper. I don't think they played anything that sounded like a song. I literally, I thought when I started to listen to them, I was like, okay, I just don't get this. They'll play a song I'll get, and I'll be able to see the structure and enjoy it. They played for an hour and a half, and not once did I think this is a song. That's how weird they were.
Well, that's better than what we can say.
Well, did you mean to go to a Crash Test Dummies concert? I get those two bands confused a lot, and they are very different. Except for that one song where they sing about the mm-ms, which sounds like it could be just the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah, I've never heard a Butthole Surfer song before. I just laugh at them too much, and
It's Pepper.
It's the one where he talks about
avalanche, coming down the mountain.
I can taste you on my lips.
Sometimes the image as it grows.
There you go.
I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. You've never heard that song?
Nope.
Wow. I thought that was a huge hit.
It was massive. It was Sting level.
What did I listen to this week? I listened to that David Byrne and St. Vincent album from a couple years ago. I thought that was pretty good.
That's a nice album.
I like St. Vincent. She's fucking a guitar fucking...
Yeah. It's good stuff, so I like that a lot. I've been listening to a lot of Talking Heads lately, mostly because my son's into it a lot. He's only 6, but he likes it. He even stopped making sense when I showed it to him, which I'm surprised.
Cool.
I didn't think kids could like.
I bet he loves Psycho Killer.
He loves Psycho Killer. Yeah, we even had to tell him to stop saying it in class.
Cool.
Yeah, he's got a solid taste in music. Just because it's stuff I like. But I used to drive him to school, and then he would the whole way for a month. He would. Well, it's only an 8-minute drive to school, but he would always ask the same song for a whole month in a row. So I learned We Didn't Start the Fire because he really liked that song for a little while.
Yeah.
And we played it twice on the way to school, and then twice on the way home because that's all he wanted to listen to. And so now I know all the words to We Didn't Start the Fire. So that's great. But
cool.
But I've been meaning to see this that new David Byrne, American Utopia movie on HBO Max. So I think we'll try and watch that once I get HBO Max, and he really wants to see it because he keeps asking about the new Talking Heads movie.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I couldn't do like music. Like I couldn't like pay attention to music at that age.
I didn't understand what the words were.
Like listen. Yeah.
I thought it was all gobbledygook. And to be fair, it was the 90s.
He'll pick up parts that he can relate to, like that part in Life During Wartime when he talks about some groceries, some peanut butter. He likes that part a lot. So it's more like parts to songs, and then it'll, he'll ask for songs with like specific parts, and then, like I forget what was the part he asked about, and We Didn't Start the Fire, but it was one of the random parts in the song, and then he also sings lyrics incorrectly, which is adorable. It's great.
Yeah.
So excited to see that new David Byrne movie. Anyway, so that's pop culture. It's a pop culture corner on Is It a Hit? Anything else you guys got before we sign off?
Dog. That's all I got.
I think we're good. I'm really ready to dig into this Sting music.
You're the talent as long as you're happy.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make me do. I'm going to set up a quadraphonic sound system. I do not know how to do this. It's probably going to involve about 4 cassette players at once. I do not have 4 cassette players, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to have Diane Rehm coming in the front. We're going to have that Sting album on the left. We're going to have Oingo Boingo on the right. And we're going to have only the most violent scenes from Starship Troopers just looping in the back.
This sounds like a fucking nightmare.
I mean, it sounds like an interpretive art piece.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the concert film around it. I am excited. I did like the. So, did you pick the name Tony for the last song because it kind of sounds like Tommy?
Did you all mention some strip club DJ named Tony during the whole thing? Like that's like a name.
Tony.
I think I might have said it. We'll listen back to the episode, but I might have said like Tony, or I think maybe we did at some point. I feel like that's a name I would have just said.
I think that might have done it. I was just walking the dog, and it was like, Tony, strip club DJ, Tony.
Yeah.
Porno. You did a really good job, man. Like you can make these like songs that exist in another place.
You're going to make me so rich, my kids won't have to go to college.
Yeah, you get writer's credits on all of these. So if any of them sell to the point that we don't have to work, well, now it's split in 3, so we all still have to work.
And I think we've done a good job at not directly referencing too many song lyrics that'll get us in hot water with the legal department.
We can say lyrics as much as we want. It's the use of the song. Like if we were to like.
But I feel like people, like, if they say, like, didn't, like, Lizzo take a song lyric that she read on Twitter, and then that she just ended up not having to, but I think she willingly gave that person, like, a writing or song. Because that's what I heard, and I'm like, man, if we're just, like, saying things here, and then it just gets put into a song, it's like, oh, crap, that was something I heard somewhere.
I don't think we have to worry about it.
I think we're good.
You might be right.
Yeah.
But I don't think we got to worry about it.
Well, Nate, you got what you need. How about we go to a commercial break, and we'll see you again in a week.
All right. This is going to be a long commercial.
Well, this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. You've heard them on every podcast. Why wouldn't they give us money too? And you know what, Nate? I grew up, every time someone's looked at my balls, they've gone, yuck. And I just grew up thinking I had yucky balls. But with Manscaped, I was like, hey, I got a whole new lease on life. My bits aren't going to be so yucky. And so I trimmed them up. No pain, no blood. I felt around on there, and my plums were happy. They gave me the thumbs up. I was like, I got to get that checked out. But, the next person I showed them to, they still were not excited to see my nuts. And I learned a hard lesson is that nuts aren't great. But here's the thing. Manscaped Escaped, made him better. My balls say, ugh.
Welcome back.
For the listeners, that's the first time we've heard that song, and we're happy to be.
Oh, that one didn't go either. Hold on. Welcome back.
All right. Okay. You know what? That one was okay. I was really unhappy with the other ones because they were off tempo and they didn't like, culminate in a pleasing way to my ear. But that last one, pretty good.
All right.
What do you think this podcast is?
Not a hit. This new one, hit.
Yeah, for the listeners at home, that's the first time we've heard that comeback music, I guess is what we'll call it.
Yeah, comeback
What should we call it?
music,
Comeback.
for sure.
Yeah,
That is,
comeback music. And we like it. It hit, and we're going to keep using it. Hope we recorded this time.
Me too. I just pressed for that one roll to stop recording, and now it's just sort of coming up blank. But I think it's there. I have no idea how any of this works.
You can add it in post.
I'll add it in post.
Yeah. So for everyone's benefit, because I imagine that our listener, as they listen to this podcast, they get to an ad break or a break in the show, and then they just stop listening.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick refresher about what we talked about recently.
Listen, here's what we talked about. Let me bring out these notes.
Nate's got his notepad.
I got the notepad.
And it doesn't matter what we actually talked about. It matters what Nate heard.
Listen, we're going to go through the notes again, even though if you heard on this podcast 3 minutes ago, we just said the notes. We're talking nonsense exclamatory statements. We're talking horny Diane Ream, Robocop, hyperviolent cartoons. I did watch Starship Troopers last night. Horrorscape or Hellscapes. Make a horrorscape is the note. Sting, I Dream of Rain, Sweet Desert Rose, LA, and Wailing on Daniel Craig, James Bond's Nuts.
That is pretty close. That's pretty...
I forgot we did that.
Yeah, you also have to. The reason that we talked about wailing on nuts was because it was the juxtaposition of how the property was like, we're adult now, we're gritty, and this is realistic James Bond, and they just went to town on the guy's old testes, which is very childish. So it's fine. Yes.
Yeah. What if the guy just gave him a bunch of tippers?
Tippers?
Yeah, you don't remember tippers? Is that a thing? You guys ever did that in school?
No, what's that?
Where young boys walk up to their friends or enemies, and they'll like whack them in the tip of the penis.
Oh, we called it Jimmy Taps.
Jimmy Taps. Yeah,
Okay.
Sure, that sounds like a thing. But what if that's what the bad guy did? James Bond, he just kept giving him tippers instead of wailing on his nuts.
You know what's funny is we called those in my school
What?
dick taps.
Oh, okay. So
Not clever at all where I'm from. It was just
Let me tap your dick.
The balls there.
well, we had a teacher named Dick Taps, so we didn't want to confuse anyone.
And boy, did he encourage us. He was a good teacher.
Yeah, he was real rough. Got a lot of F's from him, if you know what I mean.
We're talking grades, and that's it.
Yeah, I was a terrible student.
Terrible student, but man, I did love him, and he had tender arms.
Yeah. R.I.P. Dick Taps.
Yeah.
See you in the future.
R.I.P. Dick Taps. I miss you, Dick Taps. It's coming in for Dick Taps, guys. We're raising money to remember Dick Taps. None of the money goes to the family. This is all going to us so that we can drink and, obviously tell anecdotes to each other, but more on that later. Nathan, where are you in the songwriting division?
I'm putting together about the third iteration of it, I'm bouncing off of what you're saying. I'm not going to lie, people. Pat, Max, I am not going to lie. You did not give me you didn't give me the bare bones of a hit. When I read through those notes again, it really dawned on me how insufficient those were, and how I might have been mistaken when I had made the assumption that you had a finger on the pulse of the people.
Well, hold on. I think that there's lots in there that you can go off of. Maybe when it came to the Starship Troopers, you should have asked. We should have asked you, would you like to know more? And you could have asked more, because we talked about like the brain bug briefly. The other bugs cutting that reporter in half. We did not talk about the fire bugs or the butt bugs. Well, there's a lot of bugs that we didn't talk about. Is that what you need to make a hit?
I think so. No, yeah, I really do think so. I think it's important.
No, I think Pat's right. I did leave last 10 minutes ago with that same thought. Like, I think we need more, or just something different. Because Pat and I could talk about that for days, but it's something you don't have this visceral reaction to. You're not gonna the creative juices aren't gonna flow the same way as it would if you had seen those movies when you were 12 years old.
But what champions say? Champions say this, Nathan Sharp. They go, you win with what you got. Understand what I'm saying? You're starting QB. He might be out for this game. You know what a champion does? You win with what they got. Hear me?
Winners go home and bang the prom queen.
That's right. And the losers, Sean Connery, they pretend they're Sean Connery in a movie.
Not sure about that, but we'll that could be fodder for next week's episode. Sean Connery.
The movies of Sean Connery.
Yeah. It's what cops do to thieves.
I'm not Spanish. I'm Egyptian. You can always talk about that. My favorite part of Highlander is definitely worth talking about.
Yeah, but is this always going to be a movie podcast?
I think
it could easily be. Pat and I have seen a lot of movies.
Yeah, we have a lot of strong takes and dumb stuff. I care deeply about music too.
Yeah, but I don't know how much I'll be able to, because there's a very limited subset that I'll be able to, contribute to. I mean, I know a lot of music, but in terms of like the way that you look at music, I look at it differently, which could be a good thing.
I was going to say, it's not bad.
But, probably a bad thing.
No.
What about geography? Okay. Geography is a topic.
Yeah, that's true. We could also do like pre-calc. There's some interesting stuff in there.
Potent potables?
Yeah. That is, yeah. Well, what do you
cover?
What do you need from us, nasty Nathan Sharp?
What I need, here's what I need from you. I need.
It sounds like you want to do a reset.
No, here's what I want to do. I don't need anything from you. We're gonna do this and we're gonna go hard. But what I need from you, aside from nothing else, is I need something from deep down inside of you. I need you to tell me your innermost desires when you watch like a Starship Troopers or a Daniel Craig getting his nuts wailed on James Bond movie. What's it that gets filled in you? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think that can be answered by, there's that line in Tombstone where they're talking about that guy who's like, he's got a hole right through him. Poor soul. He was just too high strung. And then the other guy says at some point, like, he's like, through him. I think I got the same thing, and watching other people's, struggling, that makes me feel better about me. I'm like, look at that guy. He's in pain while I sit in comfort. Just watch, So like, I feel good about myself by comparison. I'm not getting, burned to death by a firebug or, sucked out into the cold vacuum of space by a butt bug. It's just, there's a lot of good stuff.
So do you feel bad when they succeed?
Oh yeah, when they end and things go well,
I turn it off.
Yeah.
Third act, turn it off.
Yeah, right. I want to see people struggle and fail. And, for most good stories, that's 2/3 of the movie, right? Failure, the struggle, it's the first 2/3, and then I turn it off right before triumph. Now, the rising action, a lot of times, things keep getting put on them. Things get harder and harder and scarier and scarier. And then right before, Tolkien would call it the eucatastrophe. Right before that, I turn it off. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Smeagol somehow save the day.
Spoiler alert.
I want to see. I want to see it all burn down.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones season 8. Like, it was just such a mess. It was like the writers themselves and the directors themselves were kind of committing Harry Carey. They're like, we're taking this ship down with us, and it was so fun to watch that and feel good about myself.
Yeah. That's a funny word, Harry Carey, right?
Yeah, right.
Especially for Cubs fans.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
Harry Carey is what I've heard before, but I've always thought it was a funny word because you think that kid grew up and all of his friends made fun of him because he was a form of Japanese suicide.
Yeah. It's like, are you going to commit seppuku, Harry Carey? And he was just like,
why did my parents send me to a private school? These kids know so much about Japanese culture.
It is back. Caught by the second baseman.
That thought is way back in my subconscious.
Yeah, that guy, he did die by killing himself.
Did he?
With a knife. Disemboweled. He disemboweled.
No, that's not true. It's ironic, but it's not true.
Yeah. It's a lot like that Alanis Morissette song.
Yeah, I really do think. Yeah.
Oh.
Dude looks like a lady, yes. Man. Oh, music podcast. The audio files out there really dig it. Right?
I do like that anyone that has any understanding of movies is like, these guys have the barest boned understanding of these movies, and any audiophile, any like real actual musician is like, ugh, these guys are not good at music. But we're fine. We're struggling.
Good at music.
I think that's part of the charm. I like how there's genres for that now. You know how they make subgenres, and then there's like these subgenres of subgenres that's like not good at music. So there's like hip hop, and you're not good at music. It's like lo-fi. And then, you got your, I want to play rock and roll music. And you're like, oh, I'm not good, though. Garage rock. Like, and it's like,
that's actually a good idea.
You turn the garbage into a virtue.
Like, yeah, no, I like this idea. Like, anti-folk is just bad songwriting, but like they like turn it so it's like, no, we're quirky. We're doing it on purpose. It's like, wow, you're just garbage. It's like, no, don't you understand? There's a duet. Hipster dude and some nerdy hipster girl, and maybe they like each other. Probably not, though. Hipsters don't know how to love. But like, yeah, lo-fi, anti-folk, garage. We could definitely. I don't know if there's something like that for podcasts, but we definitely should pioneer like avant-garde podcasting or lo-fi podcast.
But that's the thing, is that I think what we're doing, except for everything Nate's doing, is off the cuff. And avant-garde stuff is very not off the cuff. Like, it may seem like it is, but there's definitely something that the director's thinking, or the whoever's making this piece of garbage, that glides these two things together. But you got to really look for it. With us, I think we take no pride in preparing for anything. I think you'd be
unhappy if I showed you my notes, just how much I know it sounds like nothing I really say lands, or really any line of thought is cogent, right? But like, that doesn't mean that I haven't prepared for hours before I come. And I could show you my notes. It looks very much like an exact replica of the Unabomber's manifesto. And I rewrite it every day. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't trying and getting ready for this podcast by rewriting his manifesto.
Here's the thing.
I work very hard, is what I'm saying.
It's good to hear that.
What I do then. Yeah, I don't spend much time. I'm not a good note taker. Like, I started trying to take notes, and then I would just get too like involved. I think my ADD would kick in, and I would just like I'd still listen because I feel like I'm okay. I'm present when I'm listening, but I just have not been able to like take good notes in this, and that's not good.
Hey, do you ever feel like someone's one-upping you when you're like, I have ADHD, or I have ADD, and they go, I have ADHD? Do you ever feel like they're like trying to like, oh yeah, you think you gotta? Look what I got.
Is that what you're doing right now?
Oh, I don't have it. There's nothing wrong with my brain. I'm great. But do you think people, more intense, experiments are trying to like show you up ever?
You think it's like an OCD thing? Like my OCD says I have to be the best at everything, so I must one up you.
Yeah,
I've never experienced it directly. But it's probably a thing that someone has done.
Right. Like someone with OCD is like, I have to, open and close my door 4 times. Then another person with OCD is like, that's nothing. I have to turn this light on 15 times, or I think someone's gonna die. And like they just keep upping the number of things they have to like turn on and off.
And the real problem all along is that they're obsessive about one-upsmanship. That's their own. They actually don't do that. Yeah, they don't wash their hands at all.
Yeah, their only OCD thing is that they can't be one-upped. Like I have OCD. It's like, what's your problem? It's like, oh yeah, it's definitely mine's worse. Oh.
Yeah, that's probably a thing. And if 2 people ever get caught in that infinite loop, sayonara.
Goodbye. Yeah, right.
Well, Nate, you asked about, what do we crave while watching these movies?
Yeah, I want to know what you crave. I mean, I don't think I have my finger on the pulse of people when it comes to this.
I would really, I like being a fly on the wall. When I feel really immersed in a movie, that's a really enjoyable experience. I think I would crave to be like a character or a bystander in a movie, not anyone who has to perform or is expected to like move the plot along, but like someone on the beach when Daniel Craig is climbing out of the water and just like sees this all happening, but like is always present, like at the casino in Casino Royale.
Yeah,
I'm casino goer number 5, not even high enough to be credited. But still someone to witness all the action. And
I'd like to be the guy in the passenger hand seat when in Boogie Nights when Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. And he's just crying in the car. I'd like to be the guy just sitting next to him as the camera pans out. Like it kind of zooms in on his face as he's crying.
Wasn't that Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, well, he comes on to Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg's like, what the hell? And then Philip Seymour Hoffman, his heart breaks, and he's in the car, and the camera slowly pans in on him, and he's just like, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. And it's like, great. It's a great scene. And I'd really like it if they just slowly panned over, and there was just somebody in the car with him, like, whoa, what was that? And then the scene ends?
I thought you were saying you wanted to be someone with a huge penis. Okay. I was like, oh, real original, Pat.
No.
You don't want to be Mark Wahlberg. Got it. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
That's not for me. Just want to hang out with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah. Too late.
Yeah. That's my fault. Were you turned off by these movies?
No, I was hot for Starship Trooper. I just want to know. I just want to, I know what I'm hot for. I want to know what everyone else is hot for. So, let's see. Yeah, here, we're going to put this here.
Did you watch Showgirls?
How many times have you watched Showgirls?
Only once.
Oh,
I mean,
so
I actually haven't seen all of it. Have you noticed that Showgirls is pretty much the same plot as Saturday Night Fever 2?
No.
Is that
because no
Saturday
one?
Fever 2 is
it's John Travolta. Saturday Night Fevering again.
It's Staying Alive, right? Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, that's the one. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I think they just were like, what could we call this? That was part of the first movie. That'll make it really resonate.
That was the movie that actually called it Electric Boogaloo. Because you know how like every comedy...
Breakin' 2. You're thinking of Breakin' 2.
Oh, okay.
Breakin'. Pat, is this a dog whistle for all your patriots out there?
No, it's not.
Oh God!
All right, you guys, I have garbage material here, and I want to get it out so we can get on with this conversation. We can end this horrid podcast, and I can blame you for my own deficiencies in figuring this out.
That sounds good.
I want this to last forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The song is called Blood.
Love is in his brain, sir.
This is serious, this is nonsense, this is make-believe, this is harmless, this is my lifeblood, it is my happiness, I am a sportsman, I am a sportsman. Rated hyper-violent, this is a hellscape. We are earthbound, this is day-to-day. You want thick hair, you want a time machine. I'm selling do-overs, come by my could have been. The people want blood. The people want blood. You want fuel in the tank, you want a death race. This is a firefight, this is a hit parade. I think we need more, let the blood pour. I am a growing brain that bleeds blood and rains. The people want blood. 3 words we expected, this is high demand. It must be delivered. Come give us a hand. He's got a hole right through him. That fella's hella strong. I feel good right now. I wanna get some. The people want blood. The people want blood. Struggle and fail. Struggle and fail. Struggle and fail. Struggle and fail, struggle and fail, struggle and fail. Sitting on the beach with Daniel Craig, he's sitting in the water, cold and wet. Sitting on the beach with Daniel Craig, he's laying in the back sand, cold and wet. Wailing on his nuts, looking at his face. I'm loving every minute. The house is packed in this place. Sitting on the beach, watching Daniel Craig. He's lying in the water, bloody, cold and wet. The people want blood. A little further, it's true. He takes his licks for me and you. The people want blood. All right, that's enough of that. Listen, that can't be salvaged. It's unsalvageable.
So you're gonna play it again?
It's
one more time.
unsalvageable. We're gonna play it again.
No, we're not going to play it again. We're fine. Did you record it, though?
No, it's been recorded now.
All right. Fantastic. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah. Well, all right. So first thing I want to know, was that Starship Troopers playing in the background?
That was absolutely all Starship Troopers playing in the background. There's a lot of good lines in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by a lot, I mean like 5.
No more.
They're all there.
I just want to know if I need to contact my lawyer for legal purposes.
Got to contact that lawyer.
Yeah. James Renwick Manship Sr. That's my
Good
lawyer.
lawyer name.
Yeah, I know.
Also a ward.
Yeah. I'll get him on the horn. Okay, so first thoughts. I think that this would be really successful with a really high concept music video. There's a lot of garbage that came out in the the late 90s, early 2000s that were categorically terrible songs, but they had really high concept music videos that people remembered. For example, Stacy's Mom. You remember that song?
Yeah, that's some highbrow, wild music video.
Yeah, that song is garbage when you hear it on the radio. But
you hear that, Fountains of Wayne? Fucking come at us.
Yeah. But that that music video is obviously, got a lot of pulp to it. It's definitely memorable. It's something we can all relate to, but obviously I don't want you to make your music video about that the same. But I think if there was a really high concept music video that people could connect it with, I think that would be something that could be a hit.
Yeah, I mean, if we made the whole music video about fucking a MILF, I think there is something to that. I think that would be the only way to kind of spackle over the way this song feels and sounds. I agree with that.
Yeah, you think we could?
I think maybe you keep going. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I hear where you're coming from. Think about that Chris Isaac song, and Wicked
Game, same thing. Yeah,
that's the one. Wicked Game, and so nice black and white film noir type music video. We get a nice Daniel Craig lookalike in there, just sort of rolling around.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sorry.
No, I think it's good. It's good to make these things more high concept. I mean, the original intent of this song was to have a lot of scary vocal harmonies going on in the background, and have triggers of different different lines from horrifying movies that are in the public domain now. But due to lack of time, I slapped together some Starship Troopers quote with a backbeat and wrote some garbage and played it. And you know what? I think the people will buy this. And here's why.
Which people?
Rich people will buy it.
Okay.
Like you said.
We got to tap into that important demographic of rich people.
This is high concept art. Here's the deal, though. We have to put this out. This one can't be out in the digital domain. We got to put this out on a limited edition 8-track cassette or something. Something that
I see.
Just for the audiophile crowd.
Yeah, to make up for lack of demand, right? Because demand is the cost of something. We're talking about just simple laws of economics, right? If there's a lot of something, it becomes less valuable, right? But if there's only one of something, it's naturally more valuable.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks, John Maynard Keynes.
Yeah. So if you only, release one, we release the song, but we only release one single to one person. Only that one person can have it. You can crank the cost of that one single up from here's a $5 single to you got to pay us $15 because that's it.
$15.
Absolutely triple the price. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll put that on our Patreon. If you want to pay us $15, you can get the one released version of that song. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I think based on the way we're describing it, it's not a hit.
Well, yeah, right. To make up for how it sounds and feels,
and the lack of demand, and the lack of demand, it's not a hit.
I mean, normally I'd fight you on this. I agree that this song isn't a hit. I mean, here's the thing, though. Let's go over these notes again. Let's just go over what there was to work with. Horny Diane Ream. Oh, I messed up my NPR line. I don't know what notebook that one was on. Oh, I never said Fusha. So here it is for you all now. Fusha. Robocop, hyper-violent cartoon, Starship Troopers, Hellscape, People Want Blood. Sting, I Dream of Rain, LA. I might have been responsible for that one.
And the Hellscape. Two of the things that you said you didn't even put in the song.
You said Hellscape. This is a Hellscape. I said Hellscape. And I Dream of Rain, LA. Listen to this.
And I Dream of Rain. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a weird little dance number, or a Phantom of the Opera run that is just kind of like shoved into the song. Like it's so out of place when that happens. And here's the thing, though. You think I'm going to make fun of you for that, but I'm not. Okay? Here's what I want. That is unique, and that grabbed me because I was, barely paying attention, and then all of a sudden, bop, ba-da-da-da-da, came through. Okay, and all of a sudden, my ears went, "Hey, wait a minute, that's different. That's new." I don't think it goes perfectly into the song. It definitely feels crowbarred in, which is fine.
Actually, but you're wrong, Pat, because the rest of the song was crowbarred on to that.
That's
You're
fine.
getting your crowbars all misdirection.
Yeah, that's fine. You think I'm going to make fun of you for it, but I'm not. I'm going to encourage you to do that more in the future because I think it was a worthy failure. Okay? I think it was a good try, and you should keep trying, but it was definitely out of place. Max, how did you feel about that run?
Which one? The specific one?
Hey, can you play that for us?
Oh, just you said run. I didn't know what you meant. I said, not too hip with all the terms. Yeah, definitely felt like you just thought of it.
Oh, fuck you, Max.
No, I thought it was catchy, though. That's one of the most catchy musical things you've done on this show.
It sounds like a beat to like a tango or like a, one of those ballroom dances.
Like Morticia Adams is like freaking on some guy to that song. Yeah. She's freaking on M. Bison. He's all like, "To me, it was Tuesday."
Hey, quick, name another Raul Julia movie.
Right. There's Adam.
Pat, you're cutting out. Oh, no.
So
all right, I'll name all the Raul Julia movies you want. Cliffhanger. Was he in that?
Yeah, Raul Julia. I think you cut out when you were naming them. Go ahead. What did you say?
You're talking to me?
Yeah, you said them, but you cut out when you said them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said there were three. There's Addams Family, Addams Family Values, and then Street Fighter, the movie.
Yeah, I think as I asked the question, I'm like, shit, I don't think I can name any more either. Well,
he's great.
One of our American heroes, honorary Oscar, probably.
Yeah, and to think that he wrote James and the Giant Peach. The guy's he's just amazing what he can do.
Roll Dahlia.
Such a dumb joke. Sorry. All right.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll say this. I appreciate the effort, and I think you should continue to try and add little, because that was a cool little interlude. And I could see, a Morticia Adams just dancing to it, And the weird thing was, you still try to throw in some Death Parade stuff in there. Don't think I didn't hear that.
Death Race? Talking about
Yeah.
Death Race, right? Yeah.
What I say.
You said Death Parade because I replaced the word race with parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Smart. That's what smart people do there.
Yeah.
Good substitutions.
I definitely heard it. I caught it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Pat. I'm gonna blame you for all of this. I know you're delivering positive, constructive criticism, but this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Number one, your list of grievances. Pat, you recommend, hey there, Nate, start with a hook. So I spend my time thinking, ooh, Sweet Desert Rose. What's that scale, you know? And then I'm like going in that scale and I'm like,
I said,
oh, is that what that's from?
and so I'm doing that, and so you like make a hook, and I'm thinking Sweet Desert Rose. So I think that, and then you're like, here's what everyone else does, Nate. They shoehorn a whole song around one thing, and it's really just one idea they have, and they just throw in garbage. And I was like, okay, let me try that.
Switch from that scale. You switch from that scale to like a doo-wop scale.
Well, then I thought I had to sing, and I didn't want to, like, you know, it's kind of late here. I'm not trying to go crazy and sing like LA, LA. So I'm like, oh, I gotta sing some words. So, you know, naturally here, I'm going from a nice E, like it's like the reverse freaking harmonic minor. I don't know what you call this thing, but you know, I'm going from this, but I was like, oh, it's centered around E. So then I'm like, oh, let's just go to A, because that's what you do there. And then I'm like, oh, shooba doo ba doo ba doo boo ba doo boo. And then I'm like, okay, and then you just gotta go back to the people want blood.
Yeah, this is my fault. Oh man. Well, you know what though? Here's the thing. Not a success, but
not a success.
Not a hit. But here's the thing. Now we know what doesn't work. This is right? This is good. This is like Edison trying to make the light bulb. We have found one that wasn't right, but we have an avenue and we have a vein to mine. Okay, so I would say, good on you. Swing and a miss.
Do you think Thomas Edison was like really close to inventing LEDs, and then he just sort of like fucked something up, and he's like, oh, that doesn't work. And he's like,
yeah,
oh,
he was going to make LEDs, but he accidentally wrote Desert Rose, which was and eventually uncovered by Sting in
so
1999.
I was listening to this Sting album, too. And by this Sting album, I mean just Desert Rose, and looking at the picture on the front of Brand New Day by Sting. And like even the album name, Brand New Day, is like it says exactly what it is. It's like, here's our hot adult contempo comeback album. It's like very much stamped.
But it was very onto that, and that's what we're trying
Wasn't there
to do.
another song in that album? I got to make a apology to the listener. There is one. I was thinking of Sting's 1993 release album, which I forgot the name of, which is not the same thing as Brand New Day. So one was in 1993, one was in 1999. 97. I can't remember when it came out, but I was wrong. My mom doesn't have the Desert Rose album. She has the 93 album. And that one song I was talking to you guys about, with that weird interlude where there's just like the devil talking, that's St. Augustine in Hell, if you ever want to listen to it. And there's definitely a guy that says, okay, break's over. It's worth listening to just for that guy. But that Brand New Day album, wow, there are some songs in there that I wish I could forget. Isn't there a song where he's like, isn't there like a song that he does that in?
Do you remember? I can't answer your question there, Pat.
Those words.
But I'd like to ask a question based off of this, because you're saying a whole bunch of Sting things that sound dramatically uncool. I don't know what we can call it. But do you remember being a kid and first hearing that there was like a rock star named Sting, and you thought that he must be cool, like very cool and very like punk and rebellious.
And then you find out his name is just because he like wore a striped shirt a lot when he was first coming up.
Is that why?
I think so.
Wow.
Like he just like wore a striped shirt and people were like, you stung. Hey,
Oi.
oi.
He was in Australia.
Probably. That's where he was a foreign exchange student at the University of Adelaide.
He was always getting attacked by kookaburras. Those are Australian, right?
Yep.
They're the one.
Yeah.
All right, so we decided that this is not a hit, and I think we feel pretty good about that. Any other thoughts before we close it out?
Yeah, we all agree. But yeah, I would say you failed on the nonsense exclamation. We can still get into that. You don't need to say fasha. You make up your own. That's what I was excited about. I thought you had a lot of room to start a song with a nonsense word. I thought you'd be really into that. So we can come back to nonsense exclamation. I think that's a something that you could really capitalize on.
Well, to be honest, I completely forgot to do that. So let's move it to next week. Let's bump it.
Yeah, the nonsense needs to be, something different and weird because that's the stuff you remember. And if it's something someone said before, then it's not nonsense. So you gotta find something that's incredibly unique and also very catchy. So good luck.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. You repeated 4 times struggle and fail, and I think that's kind of what happened with this song and the writing process, and really. That's kind of the theme for, I'd say, this entire podcast is struggle and fail. And we're getting there, guys. We're trying our best. We're learning what doesn't work. Sometimes that's the only thing you can do.
Ooh.
But yeah, not a hit.
Man. Well, I missed my Diane Ream page. Oh, it's all right. It's all bad anyway. All right, here we go. Next podcast. See y'all later. Have a good week.